The news you can count on. Mayport to Ponte Vedra Beach. The Island Times News Update begins right now. Here's Tom Patton.
Welcome to the Island Times News Update. I'm Tom Patton. As is the case with all beach communities, parking and beach access are ongoing problems, not only for those looking for a place to park, but also for residents who live near the parking areas and beach access. Over the years in Atlantic Beach, there have been incidents of vandalism and other crimes at the beach parking areas at 18th and 19th Streets, and trash can also accumulate in the areas, particularly on high-traffic weekends. In response to a growing number of citizen complaints, interim Atlantic Beach City Manager Kevin Hogenkamp will assemble an ad hoc citizens panel to look at the issue of beach access and parking not only at 18th and 19th Streets, but in the city as a whole. The panel's recommendations will be included in a staff review. At Monday night's meeting of the Atlantic Beach Commission, Hogenkamp said he plans to move quickly on the problem.
Well, I do expect for our community, with the help of a committee that I'll be working with, to look at beach access and parking issues holistically, community-wide. We're going to tackle 18th Street immediately. I don't think that I need to come back to you to address issues like enforcement and perhaps changing the parking configuration and even putting a sidewalk. A lot of the suggestions tonight we're going to do. It's just a matter of whether we're going to do it next week or week after. And then I'll be in touch with the folks. Now more than 15 people have been in touch with our office, volunteering to help not just address the 18th Street issues, but to tackle issues citywide. So I just didn't want the folks to leave here today thinking, they're going to appoint a committee and it could be months and months. The beach season is here, and we're going to start doing our job on this right away.
Commissioner Jimmy Hill said that Atlantic Beach is a much different community than Ponte Vedra, where in his view, oceanfront residents have claimed the beach for themselves. He then suggested that the city consider changing the parking on 18th Street to low-speed vehicle parking. That would be a greater benefit to residents who live near the beach access, he said. Commissioner Blythe Waters said that reducing the parking would put the city's funding from state and federal governments for beach renourishment in jeopardy. But she also said there are things that can be done.
There are always things that we can do in that balancing act to make it better. But I don't want citizens to be surprised when the number of parking spaces doesn't go to 4 at 18th Street. Because if the parking spaces go to 4, your tax bill, especially if you're oceanfront and that's your front yard, goes up exponentially when we start getting bills for beach renourishment. It is a give and take. And somebody said we aren't the playground for Jacksonville, but in fact, that's actually what the interlocal agreement does state.
There was no vote on the issue. Hogenkamp will report back to the Commission at a later date. The Atlantic Beach Commission heard a presentation from City Planner Derek Reeves on a proposed ordinance that would regulate artificial lighting on oceanfront and some adjacent properties that can affect hatchling sea turtles. The city staff worked with both the Sea Turtle Patrol and the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission to draft the ordinance. Properties in what is called the Sea Turtle Protection Area would be affected. That area is defined as everything with frontage along Beach Avenue, including the Cloisters development, and all properties east of Seminole Road, north of 19th Street. Because not only oceanfront properties have an impact, the ordinance includes some houses set back from the ocean, as taller structures near the beach can also have lights that shine through gaps and onto nesting areas. The ordinance gives very specific parameters for lighting on both new construction and existing structures. On new construction, walls, structures, and landscaping cannot be uplit near the beach, and motion-sensitive security lights must be set on their shortest duration. Windows must be tinted. City Planning Director Derek Reeves said that the standards for existing homes and buildings are not as stringent.
Basically, for exterior lighting, we ask that you reposition when possible, or replace a fixture, or maybe modify an existing fixture by attaching a shield element. You can do things as little as replacing the light bulbs, go from your high-intensity bulbs to the long wavelength amber colors or red colors that are not as impactful on the turtles. Interior lighting would be to tint your windows like others as required, or just simply moving lamps away from windows that are directly facing the beach. Add blinds or use your blinds and curtains at night, especially during the turtle season.
Enforcement would be up to the code enforcement officer, and there are grants available for homeowners to make changes to their lighting, Reeves said. Commissioner Jimmy Hill had questions about the need for the legislation. Adequate lighting is a safety issue, Hill said, and he did not think making Beach Avenue completely dark was necessarily a good idea.
I want to see the data on this whole issue. I want to see the actual data from FWC that makes this, I've seen enough come out of the environmental protection side of things to have a question about the validity of the whole thing.
Mayor Mitch Reeves said he was concerned about enforcement of the ordinance.
I don't like selective enforcement, and I don't like things that we can't enforce. And this could be a case, in my case, that I'll share later, that we could do a strong education of door knockers, hangers on doors, and ask people, plead them to be good people, and that's all. I'm not, maybe we do need it. I don't know. But are we creating something? Are we overreacting, creating something that we really don't need? We just think we need it.
The ordinance will be on the agenda for an initial reading and vote at the April 10th meeting of the City Commission. Well, when we come back, beach renourishment is about to get back underway. This is the Island Times News Update.
The news you can count on. The Island Times News Update will be right back.
Charlie's Tropic Heating and Air Conditioning in Atlantic Beach offers a full range of residential and commercial heating and air conditioning services, from new installation to replacement and remodeling. Charlie's Tropic Heating and Air Conditioning can keep your home comfortable year-round, and they offer preventive maintenance contracts to keep your system running at peak efficiency. Charlie's Tropic Heating and Air Conditioning is an authorized Bryant dealer and will service all brands. For year-round comfort in your home or business, contact the original Charlie's Tropic Heating and Air Conditioning at 241-1788.
Welcome back to the Island Times News Update. I'm Tom Patton. The Beach Renourishment and Dune Restoration Project will start up again next week with the goal of restoring protection features prior to the start of hurricane season June 1st. The Duval County Shore Project is nourishing eroded beach and rebuilding dunes devastated by Hurricane Matthew's passing in October of 2016. The City of Jacksonville and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Jacksonville District expedited beach cleanup, land and sea surveys, contracts, and construction work along the shoreline. The additional dune work funded by the City of Jacksonville will continue on all beaches, including Jacksonville, Neptune, and a portion of Atlantic Beach. The work will address areas eroded by Hurricane Matthew in the southern portion of the project, as far south as 17th Avenue South, which was completed prior to the storm, but too far south to be included in the November-December work progression. Crews will also complete the berm and dunes in the north. Jacksonville Beach Mayor Charlie Latham has placed a resolution on the agenda for Monday's meeting in response to several bills pending in the state legislature that take away the ability of local governments to manage their own affairs. Among the bills being considered in Tallahassee are one that would preempt local control of city-owned rights-of-way for the placement of wireless antennas and equipment, one that sets a date for the sunset of all community redevelopment agencies in the state and not allowing any new projects after October 1st of this year, a bill that would prevent a local government from setting its millage rate above the rolled-back rate in many circumstances, a bill that limits local business taxes by cities, and one that would stop local governments from adopting laws specific to short-term vacation rentals. Local government officials traveled to Tallahassee in March to lobby on behalf of Home Rule. The legislation also opposes efforts to defund Visit Florida and Enterprise Florida. Atlantic Beach may soon not be the only one of the beach communities to offer a live video stream of their meetings. The Jacksonville Beach City staff has been researching options for installing cameras in the council chambers, as well as the archiving of meeting videos. The recommended solution is offered by a company called Siemens, which utilizes YouTube for live streams and archiving. Videos can also be downloaded, stored, and indexed. City Manager George Forbes has recommended approval of the proposal put forth by Siemens, which was the lowest bid. The system would cost the city $13,075, but carries no ongoing charges for the service. Well, we're just a week away from Spring in the Blues at Latham Plaza in Jacksonville Beach. The nationally recognized Blues Music Festival, featuring blues performers, great food, children's activities, and arts and crafts, has built a reputation for its laid-back vibe, feeling of inclusiveness, and family-friendly atmosphere. The food court features all kinds of eats, including anything seafood, and there will be a marketplace where sponsors, local businesses, artists, and other vendors offer a tempting variety of goods, including art, jewelry, clothing, accessories, and the unusual and unique. The festival runs April 7th through 9th at the Seawalk Pavilion in Jacksonville Beach. The weather for the next few days is next. This is the Island Times News Update.
Beaches Academy Child Care Center in Jacksonville Beach has been offering affordable, loving child care to families in the Beaches communities for 35 years. Conveniently located on Penman Road, Beaches Academy offers care for children from infants through preschool, with programs that encourage learning and outdoor play. Our affordable tuition means families can get quality child care at a price that fits their budget. Contact Beaches Academy at 246-3885 and schedule a tour of our center. Beaches Academy, the child always comes first.
The news you can count on. Mayport to Ponte Vedra Beach, forecasting your beaches. This is your local look weather.
The National Weather Service says we can expect sunshine over the weekend, then a chance of showers and possibly a rumble of thunder on Monday. Skies will clear again by Tuesday and continue nice for most of the rest of the week. Highs will be in the upper 70s and low 80s. Lows will fall into the mid-60s. The Island Times is always digital, always free at theislandtimes.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter to be the first to know about stories posted on the Island Times. I'm Tom Patton. Thanks for watching.